Tiramisu is very easy to make. It takes a little bit of time, especially if you have to whisk by hand. But one of the main ingredients is coffee, so especially espresso. So you have to make this beautiful espresso in these old Italian uh, cups maker. So you put your coffee in your water, and the pressure of the boiling of the water pushes the water through your beans, and then you're able to do your coffee. Now, this is you for with tiramisu, you do need a lot of coffee. That's a good thing because there's really good benefits about coffee, good antioxidants, which we're going to talk about this later on. But I want to go before we go too crazy. So tiramisu is not a lot of ingredients. You need eggs, 3 eggs, 3 tablespoons of sugar. You need mascarpone or mascarpone. So it's like a cheese cream that you have. You have the coffee, of course, and these beautiful. This was my favorite stuff in Italy. They're little ladyfingers. They call them ladyfingers, and they're full of sugar. They're very hard cookies. They're really good just to dip in coffee. They get pretty soft and eat them like that. In Italy, when I was a young kid, I used to make cappuccino. You dip it in the cappuccino and you eat it. By the time you put it in your mouth, it would fall all in your hand, and you're licking your hand. Not very nice and pretty, but it is delicious. The recipe that I'm doing here is from my grandmother, which was passed on from generation to generation. This recipe here, it's on an old piece of paper. It's been written down 20 years ago, and it has very ingredients, very good, easy. So yes, you can put different seasoning or different alcohol if you want in your coffee right now. A lot of people use sometimes Kahlua, amaretto, or Disaronno. This is a Disaronno cream. I do like to add it, but not in my tiramisu. I like to drink it instead. So cheers. And cheers. So this gives me the energy to do my tiramisu. Now, first thing, I can go through the whole thing quickly
Sure.
with you guys so you guys can see me doing it. First thing, you'll separate the eggs from the yellow and the white. You will beat the yellow eggs with 3 tablespoons of sugar for about 20 minutes in a hand mixing. With the machine, it's about 10 minutes, but you want it to be like a fluffy, kind of like almost like an ice cream texture or icing texture. So you want to have it a nice and solid, which I actually have here. And then once it's mixed, about 20 minutes after, you put it in the fridge just to keep it cold until you do the next step. So as you can see, it's kind of pretty thick consistency. Then you put your white eggs, you blend it up, and you put the mascarpone, and you mix it up until it's about nice and fluffy. That will hold on to your spoon like that. As you can see, it's literally holding on. And then you mix it all up together, and that will be the kind of like the greatness that goes between the cookies and the coffee. So we're going to put all that together. So once it's all nice, we're going to put that to blend. Before I do that, I don't want to make too much noise. What you do, you can grab a round pot or bowl, nice, or you can have some more individual cups. So this is nice when you're having a big get together or a party. You want to have something a little bit easier to handle to friends and family instead of having a big cake and cutting it. I like the big cake because I usually end up eating the whole thing anyway. So it saves me from having to do 15,000 dishes. It is very easy. You will do is you dip your cookies in there. Don't dip it too long because they're going to fall apart. And then you're going to place in all the way around here. So I'm just going to go quickly. It is a skill about doing this because if you dip it too long, as it'll show, it will just fall apart and break. So now once you dip it, you can also cut it in small pieces. I will show you a close-up of this in a second. What you want to do, you want to fill the bottom and you want to fill the sides of the cookie. Okay. Don't squish it too much because then you're just taking the greatness of the coffee into it. Now, tiramisu is often good all the time. You can have it for breakfast. You can have it for a snack. You can have it for dinner after you're having your get together. Tiramisu is a great consumption dessert or snack. I love tiramisu. Usually when I have my birthday, I always say, Daisy's like, what do you want? She knows automatically what she has to make me. It is tiramisu. So my wife and kids, Daisy and all my kids, they make me tiramisu for my birthday, which is a great thing. So you do a quick layering like this. This is a good example here, or the small ones, but I just did the big one. So you do a nice decorations like this. So you laid it all around, and then you're going to put the filling once it's all mixed up. And then in the middle, you're going to do another layer of cookies, and then you put the filling. And at the end, you put some cocoa powder right on top, just to make it a nice decoration and to fill it up. So again, the same thing with the small ones. You can just put it all around inside the small ones, trying to fill around and put the filling. And then usually after you've done this, put it in the refrigerator for about over 2 hours or overnight. The longer it sits, the better. It has a nice consistency of the cream, so it gets nice and hard. Not too hard, of course, but it makes it nice. That's what she said, right? Chris, come on, I was waiting for that from you.
Right.
So after you so after you put it all together, you put it in the fridge for at least 2 hours, and then you're able to enjoy like this. Good thing about little ones like that, and the good thing about this dessert, you can make it a day in advance, and that way you have it ready for your party and just take it out, and then it's good to go. So everybody, as you can see, I have maybe a little bit too much coffee. So anyway, this is the small tiramisu that I had prepared. So I had it in the fridge for about an hour now. It's preferably to leave it for more than 2 hours. As you can see, I put a little bit of the cocoa powder right on top, and you can see the great cream that went all the way through. So I will try to do a nice lighting here, if I could see a nice lighting. There you go, look at that. So then you're able to get this out, and look at that. Beautiful tiramisu. The coffee goes all the way through the lady fingers.
The lady
And
fingers.
this is the favorite dessert. If you've never had any of this, it is you must do. Try it out. Buy it. It's delicious.